I've now got my new file structure, and I'm going to move the app that I've been using so far into this new file structure and make a couple of adjustments so that it will still run, and then I'm going to test it. I can't stress enough that when you're using an architecture like that of Facebook apps, where you have a number of different files, and just to complicate things, you have, in normal cases, a shadow version of files on the web server and another version on your own computer, so you've got files in two places that should really match up. It's very important whenever you do any restructuring, renaming of files, or moving directories around, it's very important to test once you've done it, because if you move on even one step further on, if you then encounter problems, then it's very hard to come back and figure out what has gone wrong. And that's also another reason why I've done this file restructuring at this point, because I don't want to have to do it again. So my suggestion to you is that you use a file structure such as this one, even if pieces of it are not in use at the moment, because it'll be there and you won't have to be renaming things and moving things around. So I've got my new file structure. Let me just put the application together. The new file is this file config.php, which will in the future use this connection file. We don't use it now, so I'll comment that out. We don't need the canvas page yet, so I'll comment that out. And we also do need these keys. And remember, these are keys for an application that no longer exists, so don't bother copying them down. And this key comes out here. Never retype a key. Always copy and paste. And always check the first and last characters to make certain, particularly if you're manually copying like this, make sure you don't leave the first or last character out. Also, these keys are normally the same length, so if you put them such as you see here, they should be the same length. Use every single clue that you can use to make certain that you've got the entire key. You'll also notice that in the sample code that I downloaded from Facebook, the names of these keys are different than the names that I'm using in config.php. There are a variety of versions of sample code in various places on the Facebook developer pages. And the structures and, in fact, the file names and the names of variables sometimes differ. So when you're doing something like this, just make certain that the names now match. So API key is used where app API key was used in the example, and secret is used where app secret was used. I no longer need these two keys in this file because I've got them in the config.php file, and I'm going to be using the names that they have in the config.php file. Now, what I do need is I need to include the config.php file. So let me just copy this, and I now want config.php. Now you'll notice that I'm in the same directory, so I don't need to go up one level. All I want to do is to include config.php. Then I need the Facebook code. I could put this line of code in config.php, but I've done it here. It gives me a little more control over it. You can put it wherever you want it. You're going to need it in almost every file that you're using. There are some cases where you may have a utility file that doesn't use any of the Facebook code, so you may not need this line in every file. That would be an argument for putting it in config.php. Do whatever you prefer. In most cases, in a Facebook file, what you're going to do is start by creating a Facebook object which gives you the hook into the world of Facebook, and you can call methods of the Facebook object, which is usually called Facebook, but can be called anything you want. And you'll be able to retrieve things such as a user ID if you've required someone to log in. And here's the code that I had before. It says hello, and we print out the names of friends. I'm now going to save these files, upload them, and test them to make certain that nothing is broken. And to absolutely make certain, I'm going to change this greeting. So it says hello, new version with restructuring, so that I can tell if everything is working, and if I am also not accidentally running the old version. It's very common that sometimes what you'll do is carefully rearrange things, change names, move files up to the web, and if something happens to be in the wrong place, you may accidentally be running the old version. So make as few changes as possible, but put some indicator in a case like this so that you'll be able to tell that you really are successfully running the new version. So I will save these files, I'll move them up to the web, and we'll see if they work with the new version. I've moved the files up to Facebook, and here I am at my home page, and this is the moment of truth. Is everything still in the same place? Will the app run, and will I see the same results as I used to see? And as an added bonus, will I see that minor change to the hello message that will indicate to me that I have not accidentally launched the old version? So apps, Facebook.com, JF Birds. Let's see what we have. We'll go out and attempt to load the code. And here we have the code. I still have my list of the 2 friends that I have for this test example. I have this code that I put in here to make certain I was running the new code. So I am now running a restructured version of the Facebook app with the new config.php file and the new connection directory. So I'm ready to move on because, as you may have noticed, this really doesn't look like a Facebook app. I will now show you how to make it look like a Facebook app, and you'll be off and running.